Hi, this is Clark Mershon, Executive Director of the Missouri Association of Secondary School Principals. Thank you for joining me in Heart to Heart, a new series we have started where we highlight education leaders in our state. Today is Thursday, May 7th, 2020. And we welcome Dr. Jon Fitzgerald, Assistant Principal of Pattonville High School. Hi, Jon.
How's it going?
It's going great. Well, last fall, you were named Missouri Assistant Principal of the Year for 2021. And then if that wasn't enough, you were selected as a national finalist. So once again, congratulations. Welcome to our session today. Glad to have you.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me. And, it's been a real great year. Big honor to represent both at the local and the state level and then be named national finalist. All very unexpected, but very honored at the same time.
Well, absolutely. Talk to us a little bit about that day, that infamous day in the fall. Seemed like a long time ago now. As you walk through, your alternative school, right?
Yep.
And that feeling that you had.
Yeah, I got called up to the alternative school in our at our high school, Pattonville High School, and normally it was during lunchtime, kind of early morning. Kind of an unexpected time to be called up. So frankly, when I got the call, I was expecting to come up and be dealing with an altercation or a major student issue or something to that degree. And I walk in and the entirety of our alternative school, about 70, 80 students, the staff, my boss, a number of people from the community, my family were all there. So it was, to say the least, a nice surprise, and my heart just raced. It took me 30, 40 minutes just to get back to a normal state of mind and be able to actually process it, but it was just absolutely incredible.
Well, that was certainly an exciting time for you, your family, in Pattonville High School. So, and then you received a call from NASSP.
Yes.
Right? How did that go?
That was great because it came on a day where we just had a couple of student issues and it had been a real rough day. So I was out on the bus loop, kind of ending out the day as it was, and I got a phone call from Virginia, which when that comes up on your phone, you're kind of questioning what that's all about. And I answered the phone and was told I was one of 3 finalists for the National Assistant Principal of the Year, which to say the least is a good way to finish out a rough day.
Absolutely, and those are memories that you will cherish forever, Jon. So for the past 2 months, our professional and personal lives have changed. And so what does a school day look like for you at Pattonville High School?
So on any given day, I probably, I work from home probably 2 or 3 days a week. I come into the building about 2 days a week, sometimes 3. But we're still staying pretty busy in terms of answering emails, phone calls, the infamous Zoom meetings and whatnot. And in addition, we're very fortunate in the sense that we're able to do lunch handouts, which I end up doing one of those once or twice a week, as well as we've been starting to do senior signs for our 2020 graduates. So getting those out to the community and making sure that we're recognizing that. And going forward to the rest of the month, we're going to have cap and gown handout, diploma handout, and a variety of other things to support the community in this difficult time. So the work day definitely looks different, but you stay busy.
So, Jon, what are some ways that you and your team there at Pattonville High School have connected with your staff during these last few weeks?
Well, obviously, you try to keep correspondence strong with emails, and the Zoom meeting obviously has become a fixture where some days it's just one after another after another. One thing I'm very fortunate is that I was a teacher in this building, and I'm friends with a number of our teachers and staff members. And as a result, they're people I would text with and call normally anyway. So that's another thing I've been trying to do, is just texting people, staying up to date with them the way, almost in a more social way, and just make sure that they're getting all their needs met. Because, there's a lot of unknowns right now and everyone's looking for guidance. So trying to just keep people on the same page and support them as much as possible.
Right. And we know that you oversee the alternative school at Pattonville High School.
Mm-hmm.
And so what are maybe some ways that you have connected with some of your students?
So the nice thing with that, kind of the nice and the difficult part of the closure of the school was that our closure happened right when we were going into our 4th semester. So everything was resetting anyway. And that made it kind of great in the sense that everyone had a blank slate, and it kind of created a new environment in a very general sense. But at the same time, it made it difficult because you had to connect students with teachers that they might not have ever had before. So a big part of that is calling home, emailing home, using social media to the best of my ability. I try to call pretty much any student that has become disengaged once a week, just to call the parent, call the student, say, are we just kind of taking a week off? Are we disengaged entirely? And what can we do to support those learners? So part of that has been making sure they have devices, making sure they have hotspots. For some of our learners, it means paper copies, making sure that they have paper copies of everything and that they're able to correspond with the teacher. It's just making very individual decisions based on those students to make sure that they're getting what they need at this time.
Well, I'm sure that they have responded very positively to you, John, you and your staff there. Can you share an example or two, maybe some comments that maybe some of your students have made directly to you in the past few weeks?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I don't think this is uncommon to us. It's the engagement piece is difficult right now for students and teachers, making sure that students are taking part in the learning. So in a lot of cases, it's been, a teacher might contact me and say, this student hasn't checked in 2 weeks. And you call home, and it will often be, hey, I'm having to watch my little brother, little sister in the absence of my parents who are, taking up new responsibilities, and trying to figure out how you can accommodate that. That was one case in specific, was that we had a student who was effectively homeless now, which, is not uncommon to have a student shift places of residences in school year anyway, but he's basically now living at a hotel, and was unable to access because of a lack of Wi-Fi. So what we did at that point was we discussed with him getting him a mobile device, so he got a laptop. Our technology department has very fortunately been able to provide hotspots, so we provided those to him, and he's been re-engaged and is doing the work again. We're also very fortunate in the sense that we're able to give out those lunches, and as a result, see those students on a fairly normal basis, and figure out what, again, they need to be supported.
And what are some things that you might think might carry over once we, kind of get back to normal, so to speak?
That's actually, we were talking about that the other day, that maybe one of the bright spots of this is that we have teachers that come back with a high level of digital literacy, and they understand how to use all these tools and continue using them, particularly in the sense that so we're a one-to-one school. Every student has a laptop, and most students have Wi-Fi and access to it. And that's something we'd really like to utilize, to have the teachers use the technology as the tool that it is as effectively as possible. So hopefully that they've tried some stuff out during this time that they've found and take a liking to, and we'll be able to continue to use it and implement it into their more traditional classroom environment. An interesting time to say the least, and hopefully, right now, for example, I'm doing the master schedule for the fall, and it's a funny time because you're building a master schedule and trying to figure out very specific things hour by hour, what it's going to look like for the fall. But at any moment we could have a new thing come through that says, okay, well, this is how it's going to look in the fall. So, and I think as educators, parents, we just have to be able to think about that flexibly, plan ahead, and work around whatever we're given, and try to do what's best for students in that degree.
Do you have a tip or a piece of advice that you would like to give for other principals around the state of Missouri? Just stay strong, try to be flexible. That's my best piece of advice. One thing I would like to actually, we're very fortunate at Pattonville High School in the sense that we were a one-to-one high school to begin with. So we already had the technology piece in place, and so many of our teachers had already been doing online things that there was sort of an infrastructure for it. So what I would like to say is I really want to throw out some respect to the principals that didn't have that infrastructure, and how difficult it must have been to come up with a lot of these difficult curriculum decisions sort of on the fly, because I can't imagine
the ingenuity and innovation that you would have to do it in a week or two. And I mean, we definitely saw it from our own teachers, but just big salute to the principals and teachers that have been making it happen.
If there's anything MoASSP can do for you, don't hesitate to contact us. We are here for you.